Hey everyone, and welcome back to CJ Race Cars YouTube channel. Thanks again for all you guys that keep watching everything we've been doing. This is the FRS, the Scion. You guys have watched it through a lot of the steps. It went to powder coat last week on Thursday. We got it back Friday. Actually, I think it went Wednesday and we got it back Friday. So Friday we got it back, got it on the stands and started a little bit of stuff. Today was mainly the first day. It's Monday that we've been assembling the car. This thing will go together quick. We got the wiring guy coming. Mike Stravinos is gonna be wrapping it. This car is going to leave here and go straight to the track. It's going to have everything in it. Clutch, motor, tranny, everything will be 100% done. So we'll keep you guys posted on this within the next few weeks as it's coming together, and fire up video and everything else. So this will be a pretty cool build. But thanks again for all you guys that are watching. Make sure you leave a comment if there's something you want to see. All right, we're going to show you a little bit of these brake lines. Danny bent up this rear brake line. Some of the brake lines you can't do before powder coat because they go through the chassis. I mean, and if you left it in there, and if you make this final bend here, you can't get it back out to powder coat the chassis. So we wait till after.
That's a fun one right there.
And then this one, yeah, Danny just ran this one. There's a little bulkhead. It's pretty awesome deal there. And Danny's got an OnlyFans for bending and notching tubing and brake lines. If you guys want to check that out.
Yeah, right.
You should. That's a good idea. Like $7 a month. Just bend brake lines.
That's never going to happen.
No, but he's going to do a little drilling and tapping. We put the P-clamps on. About how far do you put the P-clamps on? Just depends.
This line here, it's not very big, so you definitely don't need anything here. So you just, in this stretch right here, you just got to pull it over a little bit, and you just maybe put a clamp like where my thumb is at, and I'll put another one like down here. But as you can see, we have a lot of tubes in the way. Right. So before you decide where you're going to put it at, you need to make sure you're going to be able to get a drill to do what you have to do.
Right, yeah.
And since this line is where it is, if you take this clamp and run so the screw is on the ends, let me see if I can show you better. So the screw is on the inside, I can get to it really good. If you flip it over, the screw is like here, where you can't tap it.
Yeah.
So you gotta just kind of think this out ahead of time. And I figure out where I want to put it, and then I'll take like a oversized index punch, and that'll locate itself on the hole on the thing, on the tab, on the little Adel clamp, and it'll kind of self-center. And you get it where you want it, smack it with a hammer, and now you have a little spot where you can start your drill tap. And what we use is it's a drill bit and a tap all in one, and it's kind of like an impact driver. So you lube it up with some kind of tapping compound and WD-40, whatever you want.
Yep.
And then you just start drilling with it, and when it breaks through and hits the tap part, it'll start impacting, and you just go right through the tube.
Yeah, the drill taps are definitely a lifesaver, really.
You can drill and tap two separate things if you want to.
Yeah, it's a lot more work.
This is so good, and you just gotta be careful so you don't break it.
Yeah, break them off.
If you just really hard with it, well,
the firewalls are hard on them. Yeah. Those little 632s. That's an 832, right?
This is an 832.
We use an 832 on a brake line, fire line. Well, actually, use a 1032 or 832 on the fire lines. 832, right?
Oh yeah, anything is 3/16, so I'll use an 832. And 1/4 inch, I'll use 832. 632 is a little small. 1032 is just a little overkill. Yeah. We use 1032s on this little titanium tab.
Yep, titanium tab we use for the brake line where there's a bulkhead at.
Yeah, if you're not sure where you're going to put this exactly, instead of welding a tab before you powder coat and then wishing you didn't weld it there, we have these little tabs cut up, and we just break it 90 degrees, and then you just put it where you want to, and two little 1032 screws, and you're good to go.
Yep. Then we just run a soft line from there to the housing.
Yeah, it'll come down the flex line.
Yep. So
the
pretty hard to get that brake line bent up in there. He did really good. It fits really good. It fit good there, Danny.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy around this stuff. But.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll make an attempt here to do this without having any problem. We don't have to have that up there to do it.
You already got it punched?
I already got it punched.
It's a lot easier
It's
than
not supposed to come out.
using a drill and a tap.
And what you have there, I don't know if you can see it very good or not.
Let me see.
You have
Yep.
a tapped hole.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, you want to be comfortable at all times.
Yeah, that'll be comfortable.
The older you get, the more comfortable you get. I'm losing a little bit of Loctite on it, so I got to get some of that,
Yeah.
some of the fluid off of it. Let me get this.
Definitely want to use Loctite on all the firewall screws, brake lines, fire line, all that stuff, because these cars shake a lot. You definitely don't want the screws starting to fall out and ending up under the car and stuff falling off. So it's pretty important too, huh, Danny?
Yes.
I guess if you just drilled a hole and then use an impact to put the screw in, that'd be about as good as Loctite, right?
Yeah.
Without tapping the hole?
Yeah, especially when you use a stainless screw.
Yeah, that'll.
Because that way it just kind of galls the threads really good, and it just goes up in there, and you never have to worry about it coming back out.
Never fall
Even
out.
if you want to take it out. It's there.
Yeah,
You'll grind the head off,
Yeah.
and then you'll have to go in there and try to drill it out because it's there.
That's solid. That's never coming out.
Nope, that's permanent Loctite. So there you go. Now we have one clamp on there.
So that's a P clamp holding the brake line in there, and then he's got one more down there, maybe.
Yeah, I want to put one down here
Somebody's
somewhere.
got one more down there, but just wanted to show you guys that, how he installs that, and there's a lot of them around the front. I think he already got the holes. Front brake line, the brake line that goes through here, he's already got somewhat bent. Around the other side of the front, he's got bent. He's got all that stuff bent.
Pushing that brake line through that tube is,
Yeah.
it's not, it takes two people. You push it through because you get somebody back here, and well, you can't look in there, but you just kind of reach in there and feel around for it, and it kind of starts to come through there. And when it does, you just got to pull it through, and you're going to curl it up, and it's going to get like you're never going to be able to use it. And what we have to do is, once this comes through here, we're going to have to let it come up and come across like this, and then it's going to bend 90. It's going to go across here, and it's going to bend 90, and it's going to go up. But you can't go into this, so it's so far out. So you'll get it right about here somewhere, and you'll bend it out like this, and then make a 180-degree loop and go into there.
Yep.
And all that's got to be done in the car. You can't make the piece out here and then go
Right.
fit it. You'll be doing all that up inside here with a piece of tubing that's all curled up that you got to keep straightening out. And you'll think you'll never do it. You'll never do it, but
But
it
it
works.
You'll do it.
It works.
Yeah, because that brake line goes through that whole entire lower frame rail and comes out right here. So we showed a little bit of this stuff on Justin's car, but this is the way we do it. And instead of just drilling a hole in here and leaving it open, we actually put a piece of tubing in there and buff these edges, because if not, that brake line rattles around in there and gets cut on the tube. That would not be good. Brakes are obviously one of the most important things. Yeah, I worry more about stopping than I do about going. We just got the car back from the powder coater Friday, right? Friday, so started assembling it today. Chew came by, started laying out some of the wiring on a panel with him, started getting some of the stuff together. Danny came in Saturday, got the floors in, the titanium floors, just fit the belly pan. Be putting a motor plate, mid plate motor in probably tonight or in the morning. Jesse's getting the firewall final bead rolled and drilled and tapped. You can see we drill and tap all those in there. It's quite a bit of work. If you notice how we waited to bead roll all this until Chew came for the wiring, showed us where he wanted like the FT sparks up here, and you can see he laid the bead rolls out around the FT spark, so that's pretty cool. But it's coming together. Got the fuel cell mount in, rack in, belly pans in, the wiring panels in. Show you how we did the wiring panel. It's all rolled around the edges so it fits real snug. It's got plenty of area to put anything we want in there and anything anyone else might want in there. We also have a panel that goes here if you ever wanted to put some more there. But batteries in, battery mounts in, on-off switch. The on-off switch in this car we always do them with a handle usually, unless they're close enough where you can get to them. But this way you can shut it off, turn it on from inside the car. Obviously the vent for the engines here goes to the tank. We made a tank that fit in there, which is pretty nice. Go ahead, Danny. You're good. Danny's just working at them P-clamps. Fire bottle in. Danny will be doing the fire lines probably. That'll probably be one of the next things he does on this car. Got our roll bars going in. This is the tank I was just talking about. Usually we put this back here and we run this through the deck lid. But on this car, we have a piece that mounts in a deck lid that's aluminum, and then a hose goes from here to here. Just the design of this back of this chassis, that's how it worked out the best. And for the car, it doesn't have a deck lid, so we couldn't really get the tank in and out of here. So the tank fit better here, worked out better to come out through here.
This one's
That one's gonna be a pain there?
well, I gotta make sure it, once it goes through, it doesn't cock the tap sideways, and that's not good. Boy, I tell you, that is close calls right there.
That's pretty good, Danny. Like I said earlier, for more cocked taps, Dan's OnlyFans. Cocked taps and bent lines.
Cocked taps. That sounds like an OnlyFans deal to me.
This car has the most titanium I think we've ever done on anything. I've never really seen a dual frame rail and diagonals and stuff made out of titanium. This was going to be my personal car before I decided to sell it, so we tried to do a lot of different stuff. Obviously the column, dash mount, we'd usually do that, but the dual frame rail, the rear section of the chassis, all the body mounts that go into here are all titanium, the whole side of the car. It's got just about everything you could do in titanium. Tunnel, pedals, steering column, firewall, all the mounts, tabs, mounts on everything are all titanium. Tie rods are titanium. Steering shaft is titanium. So this thing ought to be super light. The downpipe, wishbone, cross shaft, lower control arms, steering spline. Got pretty much everything. Some of the sheet metal on the back's titanium. Turbo mounts are titanium. Clutch pedal. On a clutch pedal with these cars, these clutches are take a lot of force to push the pedal in, so we did a 1/8 inch gusset on a clutch pedal. You don't usually do it like that. It's usually 060 or 090 depending on what it is. So that's our clutch pedal we make in-house. This is the brake pedal. We machined out all the slots in them to make it as light as possible. You can see that's made out of one piece right there. Turned it down. There's definitely some trick stuff on the C. That's the one I was telling you about. It's 060. I think it's 090. But that's one of our brake pedals. Throttle pedal, titanium. We even made a pin instead of a bolt. That's titanium. Machine a pin that goes in there to hold it in. So this thing should be super light, and they should do really well with it. Excited to see it out all the titanium hardware. On this car, for the powder coat colors, we did this gray is called a Galaxy Gray. It's the same color we've used on quite a few cars. Justin's car is the same color. We did Steve Green's Mustang the same, and I think the Toyota's the same. So we don't get too crazy on the base colors, just because if this customer was to ever sell this car, which happens a lot. People sell cars, they build new cars, they get new cars, and if this thing was red or yellow, it'd be tough to sell. And to change the color of the powder coat is pretty much impossible. I mean, you got to take the body off and everything else. So we usually stick with a pretty neutral base color and something that goes good with everything else. Obviously, the carbon goes good with the gray and everything else. So the secondary color we use on this is a satin black. We do the mid plate, motor plate, 4-link bars, rear end, the can in the back, handles, battery mount, the roof panels are all black. So all those colors work good together and they're neutral. So it's something that most people will like, and it's not something too personalized. So that's why we go with that. Also, I want to thank you guys. The build series video's done really good so far. So every week we'll be posting an update on that. This week, we're gonna kind of show you how Danny got where he got already with the car. A lot of people asked about tech stuff on how he bends the tubing, how he notches the tubing. A few people asked about the tubing polisher. So in this week's video on the build series, we're gonna kind of show you how he got where he got, how he laid some of the tubes out. We'll actually have him plan a tube, lay a tube out, and bend it so you guys can see exactly how that's done, how he polishes it, how he plans his notch, all that kind of stuff. So basically from a tube on the rack to a tapped in tube in the car. We're gonna show you that and a few other little tips and tricks that Danny uses, so you can kind of get an idea on how the chassis has got to where it was, other than me just explaining. So that's the video this week for the build series. But thanks again to all you guys that watched the video. All the comments and feedback on that video really helped, because that showed me what you guys want to see, and that's what we need. We need to see what you guys want to see, and we'll show you the best we can. So thanks for that, and I hope you enjoy this video.